Hello? We should be good. Hello? We should be good. There it go. Yeah, we good. We good. We good. Should be good. There it go. Yeah, we good. We good. We good. Sorry about that, y'all. I had everything else set up and did not think about, you know what? You put the microphone on. Let me get my Yeah, I'm not them other YouTubers. I don't have that big mic and everything like that. I keep it simple, dude. Short and simple, dude. Microphone right here. Keep it nice and simple. Cool. So let's get into it. So welcome to the channel. My name is Dominic Mack, aka the Tad IT. Welcome to the CyberSafe Insight news briefing. Here we basically discuss. Basically I picked three articles. And with these articles, I do a little bit of research on them to learn more about what was really going on within the certain incident. What we can learn from it, tools like how it was started, implemented, what did they use, the reasons behind what they use, and then at the end of each breakdown of an article, we basically break it down to where people that don't have a non-technical background, people that stakeholders in businesses, or people that just don't know, or basically asking the question, why? Why do I need to know this, right? So yeah, it's more, this channel or this news briefing is more about helping each other out. It's helping me out accountability wise, and actually like learning more and more about different attack vectors, how to analyze different news articles for certain attacks that would assist any other business, and also to help you out as well to basically dissect what's really going on and to really understand. Sometimes I do go off on, not off on the rails, but I do go off and be like, if something is interesting or if I don't know anything, I just do a simple research while on live stream and just look it up. So without further ado, after the technical difficulties, if you saw my last video, I really didn't have nothing really set up, but this time, I've been doing recording YouTube videos for a while, and I'm just, now I'm getting back into the swing of things, and I know how to set my own environment up. So I have a chat up as well. So hey man, if you got anything on your mind, if you find this article interesting, if you just talk about anything, I'm just trying to create a community of just cybersecurity professionals, IT professionals, anything. Like I said, I've been in the IT game for 10 years. I didn't say before, but I have been in the IT game for 10 years. And when I mean in the game, I mean learning it and doing it, both on software, like from computer science, software development, to system administration, network engineering, to now cybersecurity. And my focus is trying to be an incident responder. Um, from what I've been reading and researching, is the police of cybersecurity. Basically, you call them when shit go down. I don't care about I say a little cuss words here and there, man. Hey, my background is Navy, man. Navy, sailor mount, bro. Anyway, jump into it. So the first article we're gonna talk about today. Let's see. Let's make sure. Uh-oh. Something froze. Let's see something. Give me 1 minute. Window capture, display capture. Okay, there it go. Sorry about that, y'all. Everything wanna just freeze up and everything, man. Okay, so we're not gonna talk about it. That's the dealership one we're gonna talk about, because I don't know why I picked it. It was just an interesting thing. The reason why I picked it. So yeah, so the first article we're gonna talk about is the Red Juliet. Cyber espionage campaign hit 75 Taiwanese organizations. So what I do when just to let you know, if you're new to the channel, I go through all this myself, and then I just basically do a simple summary of what I've read, basically. and then you got thoughts to know, and then explanation to stakeholders. If you would like, I can read through the whole article. I mean, it's like a short article. We can read. I can read through it and then read through my summary or whatever. You know what? Let's try. Let's try that out. So, well, we can see this. Let's see. So let's look at this right here. So let's see where they started. So it look like Red Juliet, Fuzhou, China. I'm probably Fuzhou, China, messing that shit up. Soft Ether VPN server also configured as Acutix, Acunetix Web application security scanner. Please let me know if I'm messing that up. Reconnaissance and attempted exploitation of public-facing web servers and appliances via the Acutix directory traversal and SQL injection attempts. So boom, 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 and then organizations targeted by the reconnaissance and attempted exploitation activity. Then, in a few cases, post-exploitation activity observed using the open source web shells Devil's Shell and Ant Sword and Privilege Escalation Vulnerability Dirty Cow CVE 2016-5195. So this CVE been out for a while. Victims organization and then soft ether bridge or client and then regular communication to Red Juliet soft ether VPN server to tunnel traffic out of the victim's network. So wow, okay, that's interesting. How do we get? Okay, there we go. So let's read about it. So a likely China linked state sponsored threat actor has been linked to a cyber espionage campaign targeting government, academic, technology, and diplomatic organizations in Taiwan between November 2023 and April 2024. Recorded Futures Insight Group is tracking the activity under the name Red Juliet, describing it as a cluster that operates Fushao, China. Again, let me know if I'm messing that up. To support Beijing's intelligence collection goals related to the East Asian country. It's also tracked under the name Flax, Typhoon, and Ethereal Panda. These names, dude. I'm still like at all about these names. Among other countries targeted by the adversarial collective include Djibouti. Oh, Djibouti, Africa. I have friends been stationed there. I was about to be stationed at there one time. Hong Kong, Kenya, Laos, Malaysia, the Philippines, Rwanda, South Korea, and the US. Okay, in all, as many as 24 victim organizations have been observed communicating with the threat actor infrastructure, including government agencies in Taiwan, Laos, Kenya, and Rwanda. It's also estimated to have targeted at least 75 Taiwanese entities for broader reconnaissance and follow-on exploitation. The group targets internet-facing appliances such as firewalls, load balancers, and enterprise virtual private networks or VPN products for essential. I don't know why they enterprise VPN products. I don't know. They said VPN again. Products for initial access as well as attempting structured query language SQL injection and directory transversal exploits against web and SQL applications, the company said in a new report published today. As previously documented by CrowdStrike and Microsoft, Red Juliet is known to employ open source software, Soft Ether, to tunnel malicious traffic out of the victim's networks and leverage living off the land techniques to fly under the radar. The group is believed to be active since at least mid 2021. Additionally, Red Juliet used Soft Ether to administer operational infrastructure consisting of both threat actor control servers leased from virtual private server or VPS providers and compromised infrastructure belonging to 3 Taiwanese universities, recorded future note. A successful initial access is followed by the deployment of the China Chopper web shell to maintain persistence alongside with open source web shells like Devil's Shell, Ant Sword, and Godzilla. Oh wow. So China got their own web shell and then they sent other web shells like Devil and Ant Sword and Godzilla to do the persisting. A few instances have also entailed the exploitation of a Linux privilege escalation vulnerability known as Dirty Cow. Red Juliet is likely interested in collecting intelligence on Taiwan's economic policy and trade and diplomatic relations with other countries, it said. Red Juliet, like many other Chinese threat actors, is likely targeting vulnerabilities in internet-facing devices because these devices have limited visibility and security solutions available, and targeting them has proven to be an effective way to scale initial access. So, first of all, I'm gonna look at living off the land. So, LOTL. Let's see what that is. Oh, I can't spell. I said I. Living off the land. Okay. What are living off the land attacks? Okay, because I'm sorry. So, living off is a fileless malware or LOL bins cyber attack technique where the cyber criminal use native legitimate tools within the victim's system to sustain an advanced attack. That's okay. How do living off the land work? So, unlike traditional malware attacks, which you know what? Okay. I'm getting off the wheel. I'm getting off the ball. Let's go into my summary and then we can look back into this. So, let's see, we can go back. So my summary. So summary, a China-linked threat actor Dredger has been conducting cyber espionage 75 organizations from November 2023 to April 2024. The group targets internet-facing appliances for initial access and uses open source software like SoftEther to tunnel traffic and maintain persistence with web shells, like we said with Devil Shell, Godzilla, and what's the other one? Ant Sword. Their goal appears to be intelligence gathering on Taiwan's economic policies and international relations. Similar attacks have been observed in other countries, highlighting the persistent risk and vulnerable internet-facing devices. I'm assuming that because Taiwan don't want to be with China and is trying to, I'm not gonna get into politics with that one, but I mean, we all know about Taiwan and China and the United States, but we're gonna leave it there. This is just straight cybersecurity. Anyway, so this is the things to know as a threat intel analyst or just a cybersecurity analyst from like I said, I'm just doing research. This is more as a hobby that I want to turn into a career. Again, like this is something I'm just trying to do not only to help myself but to help you as well, to just dissect the information from these news articles. So, first thing I have is threat actor identification. So, Red Juliet, likely state sponsored by China, targets organizations for intelligence gathering. Okay, so reconnaissance, we getting reconnaissance, right? So, targeted sectors. So, they targeting government, the academic, technology, and diplomatic organizations in Taiwan with similar activities observed in other countries. So, like they were saying, Rwanda, Djibouti, who else they said? Hong Kong, Kenya, Laos, Malaysia, Philippines, like they going everywhere. They're trying to get everything. And majority of these countries, the U.S. is associated with, like the Philippines, Djibouti, of course, because I've known people that got stationed in Djibouti. Hong Kong, more like Tokyo. And please let me know if I'm right. Tokyo, whatever. Yeah, because I mean, you got oh Lord, how can I forget the places that we are stationed in Tokyo? Okinawa, yeah, Okinawa, Japan. Cause I don't know if he's still there, but a colleague of mine was stationed over there back in, I think he was stationed back in 2019 before COVID. Lucky, lucky, but not really lucky, cause that command was kind of Marines can mess stuff up. I'm sorry if you're a Marine. I'm sorry, dude. Y'all be messing stuff up sometimes over there. But anyway, the third thing I pointed out, attack vector. So initial access through internet-facing appliances like firewalls, load balancers, VPNs, using techniques such as SQL injection and directory transversal. So again, let's look at SQL injection. So we're gonna look at SQL injection. That's what I say. I like going to like so. SQL injection is a code injection technique that might destroy your database. SQL injection is one of the most common web hacking techniques. SQL injection is the placement of malicious code in SQL statements. So basically, that's what it is. So you can look for the OWASP. So attack consists of insertion or injection of SQL query via the input data from the client to the application. A successful SQL injection exploit can read sensitive data from the database, modify the database, insert, update, delete. Those are the commands that you use in SQL language. You know, like create table, and then you have the name of the table, and then you have like the primary key. You'll have one column. It would be like an integer column for your ID, which would be um the primary key, right? And then so on and so forth. And then you have like insert this into the table, update this, or delete this table, or delete this column. Yeah. Execute administration operations on the database, such as shut down the DBS database management system, recover the content of a given file present on the DBMS file system, and in some cases issue commands to the operating system. That is scary. I mean, once I can do that, it's over. Like I can start executing commands on operating system like a Windows. I can get into a PowerShell or the command line interface, and then at that point, if I'm able to get administrative access to your PowerShell, oh, it's over. It's done. It's a done deal after that. Cause then I can start changing passwords. Like I said in my last one, once you get administrative privileges, it's over. SQL injection attacks are a type of injection attack in which the SQL commands are injected into data plane input in order to affect the execution of predefined SQL commands. And then yeah, so they have the description. The SQL occurs and unintended data enters a program from a untrusted source. Data is used to dynamically construct a SQL query. Main consequences: confidentiality, authentication, authorization, integrity. Well, basically CIAA. But then they give. I like so one thing about OWASP. OWASP, if you don't know, is the open web application. Oh my God, come on, Dom. Open web application security project. I'm sorry, dude. There's so many acronyms. But yeah, the OWASP here, this website, they literally break everything down. They give you the top 10 um attacks or vulnerabilities, threats that would happen towards a web application, and they list them. They update it every so often. I think the last time was 2019. I want to say, don't quote me on that. You can look on the website and look it up. But yeah, here they even give you an example like in SQL, select ID, first name, last name from the authors. If one provided first name Evil X and last name Newman, the query string becomes from up to where first name is this and last name is Newman. And then incorrect sentence said which the database attempts to run as incorrect syntax near IL as the database tried to execute evil. So that's interesting, dude. And they give you the safe version of it. This is the safe version of the above SQL statement could be coded in Java. I have not done Java in so long, but yeah. So let's go back. Back to the article. Try not to stay too long. So tools and techniques. So they use soft ether used for tunneling malicious traffic, web shells, deployment. Was deployment of China Chopper, Devil's Shell, Ant Sword, and Godzilla. Living off the land techniques to avoid detection. So that they already said it. So living off the land, like I said back here, they said basic fileless, where the site uses native legitimate tools within the victim system to sustain an advanced attack. Unlike traditional malware attacks, which leverage signature files to carry out the attack plan, living off the land attacks are fileless, meaning they do not require an attacker to install any code or scripts within the target system. Instead, the attacker uses tools that are already present in the environment, i.e., that's why it says to avoid techniques to avoid detection because you're using the tools already on the threat, already on the victim's device, such as PowerShell, Windows Management instrumentation, or password saving tools like Mimikatz to carry out the attack. Using native tools makes living off the land attacks far more difficult to detect, especially if the organization is leveraging traditional security tools that search for known malware scripts, or files. Because of this gap in the security toolset, the hacker is often able to dwell undetected in the victim's environment for weeks, months, or even years. Whoa. They don't have to, so basically fileless, like serverless, like you don't have to, you can run code without having this run code without running on the server in AWS. Fileless. This is the first thing I heard. This is the first time I've heard this living off the land, which makes sense. I'm living off the land of Windows. I'm using PowerShell. I'm using the command CLI. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use that. That's already on there. I'm not gonna be detected because I'm already using the tools that you will use on a regular basis, depending if you just office, administrator or system administrator, that's interesting. I never heard of that. This is my first time hearing about that. So privilege escalation, exploiting vulnerabilities like the Dirty Cow CVE. So I want to look at the Dirty Cow. I told you, bro. I like looking stuff up, man. Dirty Cow CVE 2016. Oh, look at that, look cute. It's a privilege escalation vulnerability in the Linux kernel. So, fact, what is it? Is the official reference to this bug? Why is it called dirty? The race condition was found in the way the Linux kernel's memory subsystem can handle the copy on write or CAL breakage of private read-only memory mappings. An unprivileged local user could use this flaw to gain write access to otherwise read-only memory mappings and thus increase their privileges on the system. So, oh, okay. So they tell you that, okay, let's see, dirty cow, CVE. Okay, there you go. National Institute of Standards and Technology. So we see here details. This vulnerability has been modified since it was last analyzed. It is awaiting reanalysis, which may result in further changes to the information provided. So let's see, CVSS at the score 4.0. They give it a 4.0 severity, 4.0 metrics. So it's still, like I said, not yet provided. But if we look back on the previous versions of 3.0 and 2.0, wow, from the 2.0 to the 3.0, it went up. So the base score is 7.8 high. Oh, wow. Okay. So let's see, references to adversary solutions and tools. By selecting these links, you'll be leaving, and we have provided these links to other websites because they have information that we would be of interest of you. So let's see. Let's look at the okay, cool. We'll look at FortiGate. So right, Linux kernel dirty cow vulnerability. Let's see, dirty cow vulnerability announcement. So you give a medium date was 2016. There's the IR number, the CVE ID, and the CVRF. Download CVRF meaning. That's what it says. Common vulnerability reporting framework, which is maintained by the Industry Consortium of Advancement of Security, the ICASI. It's an XML-based language that enables different stakeholders across different organizations to share critical security-related information in a single format, speeding up information exchange digestion. Interesting. Okay. So they tell them through FortiGate, these are not will not be affected. Okay. And then tell you MITRE confirmed it. Damn, they got a lot of, so it's basically connecting you to different websites. So let's not get too deep in the rabbit hole. So okay, cool. The dirty cow. So basically being able, having the privilege to write to read-only memory mappings that will give you a chance to escalate your privileges within the system. So security flaw in the kernel. So number 5. I'm sorry, we going off. Dang. Anyway, as I say, I like just searching it up just to understand more of it. So infrastructure use of both leased virtual private servers and compromised infrastructure, including university networks. Persistence, maintaining access through the use of web shells and other persistent methods. Geopolitical goals, focus on Taiwan's economic policy, trade, and diplomatic relations, indicating strategic intelligent priorities. Man, China want that. They want their stuff, man. Dang. So now to the explanation part of it. So this is the explanation to stakeholders, right? So overview again. So if I'm explaining this to a stakeholder or a person that has a non-technical background in what I do, right, in cybersecurity, threat intel, right, I like IR, right. This is what I would say. So Red Juliet, I'll tell them like Red Juliet, a China-linked cyber espionage group has been targeted by key sectors in Taiwan to gather intelligence, focusing on economic policies and diplomatic relations. Their methods include exploiting internet-facing devices and using sophisticated tools to maintain undetected access. So the impact on the business. So impact on business decisions. So risk assessment, highlight the important. So you want to. This is what you would do when it comes to explain this to a stakeholder, right? So you want to do a risk assessment which highlights the importance of evaluating the security of internet-facing devices, including firewalls, load balancers, and VPNs. investment in security. So emphasize the need for robust security measures such as regular patching, intrusion detection systems, and advanced monitoring solutions. Next, you do incident response, strengthen incident response protocols to quickly detect and mitigate potential breaches. I pick Earl. Like I said, that's how I remember. Pick Earl. So remember the methodology of incident response: preparation, identification, containment, eradication, recovery, and lessons learned. Um, 4, awareness training. So enhanced training programs to educate employees about phishing and other common attack vectors used by threat actors. And then 5 is collaboration. Encourage information sharing with industry peers and government bodies to stay informed about emerging threats and best practices. So I think understanding these 5 ways of impacting your business, if you can relate this to a stakeholder or a person, that running a business, it could be a small business, man, medium size, it doesn't even matter. A business is a business. You're making money, and if somebody's affecting with your money, they're affecting with your life, right? So I think explaining this to people that don't have a background into it, and they're and like just letting them know like this is important, bro. Like your data, especially your customers' data, because they trusting you with their data. They're trusting you with their sensitive information in order for you to provide a service for them, right? Again, like I said in my last stream, if I don't, I'm not gonna give you money if I can't trust you. I mean, I ain't gonna give you anything if I can't trust you, you know. So enough to that video. So I hope that really helps you with that one. So on to the next one. On to the next. So the next one. So multiple threat actors deploying open source Rafael Rat to target Android devices. And that's why I got iPhone. Um, so I'm not gonna read all through this. I am gonna look at this though. Let's see, they have some around 120 different malicious campaigns, some targeting high profile entities that span various countries like Australia, China. Oh wow. That must be enter your number, submit, enter your code. Oh. Oh ho ho ho. Look at it. Okay. And then this is the command sent to devices. So voice message, upload file path, lock screen, ransomware. So these are the colors represent the actual commands being sent. So like for example, ransomware, we can look ransomware here. Okay. Upload file path, command sent to device info. Like I can get the device, deleted calls, SMS, changing the wallpaper, get a list of the files that's on your phone, location tracker, application list, sent SMS. I can get information from vibrating. That's wild, dude. So okay, I'm not gonna read through all that. That's interesting. So this is what I have from my summary. So this report details the findings on the use of Raphael Rat, an open source Android remote administration tool by multiple threat actors, including Iranian hackers. The information is crucial for stakeholders to understand the potential risk and take proactive measures to safeguard organizational access. So this is the summary of the findings, right? So Raphael Rat overview. Raphael Rat is used by cyber espionage groups to control and manipulate Android devices. It masquerades as popular apps like Instagram, WhatsApp, which we see right here, WhatsApp, and e-commerce or antivirus apps. That's scary, dude. And is that Python? No, that's not Python. That's Java. Look like yeah, it's Java. Public void. Yeah, as soon as I see public void, that's Java. Yeah, it's Java. As soon as I see that public void, Java. But anyway, let's see capabilities. The rat can wipe SD cards, delete car logs. Like right here, if I'm sending the what delete command, it was like delete where it was delete calls command right there. So call logs, steal notifications, act as a ransomware. It can siphon sensitive data, including contact information, SMS messages, location, and call logs. Jesus Christ. Targeted campaigns. Around 120 malicious campaigns have been identified targeting high profile entities in the country such as Australia, China, France, Germany, India, Indonesia, Italy, Pakistan, Russia, and the US. Vulnerability exploitation. The Do Not team used Raphael Rat in attacks leveraging a design flaw in the Foxit PDF reader with military themed PDF lures to deliver the malware. Good lord, dude. Black what's Yo, I ain't even pay attention. I ain't paying attention to that. Black what's okay. All right. Next one, so that's vulnerability exploitation and victim demographics. The majority of victims use Samsung devices, followed by Xiaomi, Vivo, Huawei. Most affected devices run outdated Android versions without security patches. And then attack vectors. Social engineering tactics manipulate victims into granting intrusive permission. Command and control C2C communications primarily uses HTTP or HTTPS and Discord APIs. Oh, Discord, damn. So, wow, that is scary, bro. Like, come on. So, hey, man, when he said out of date, bro, you got to update your Android devices, bro. Like, any device that you have, even iPhone. I don't care how safe iPhone is, man. I'm still gonna update every time. Every time I get like, yo, update it. The one thing I want the thing about that is I think at one point, because now I'm starting to realize on my iPhone that when I try to update or go to the App Store and I want to, download the application, right? They have it to where you cannot automatically update apps to your phone, which I like. I mean, hey, listen, it's a nuisance because we were so used to like, your apps automatically updated, but now you're having people that's creating applications, man, that have malicious intent. They have malware. As soon as you download it, they have a malware attached to it and it's already installed on your device, and it open a back door, and it can be persistent on your phone. Like they can live like doing the same thing here, being able to read your calls, read deleted calls, read deleted messages, read all the messages that you sent and receive. So I think I like how they like, you go in the app store and then you physically got, unless I'm blind and I miss the settings on it, like looked over the settings, that you can actually physically, like, I have to go in there and actually physically press the button to say update. So update your devices, but also remember, like, doing automatic updates is not really is good, but is, I mean, good as in the sense of you just upload it and forget it, just press it and just do it. It just automatically do it. Versus you do that and then that upgrade has some malicious intent, or you read the news and then that one app that you did update, it's kind of too late by that time because it automatically updated and now you have that whatever malicious code on your phone. Yeah, it's like a. So recommendations for stakeholders while reading this article. So recommendations would be enhanced security measures. So implement robust security measures to detect and prevent the installation of malicious apps. The second would be regular updates. Ensure that all Android devices are running the latest software versions with up-to-date security patches. User awareness to educate employees. Always educate about the risk of downloading apps from untrusted sources and the importance of scrutinizing permissions. I ain't gonna lie. Before I even got into cybersecurity, dude, I remember you used to download these apps to like make your phone look a certain way and feel a certain way. Like I used to have my Android look like an iPhone at one point, and you be downloaded like it's like, oh, this app is not from a trusted source. Would you like to continue? And I'd be like, you know what? Hey, sure, it's no problem. Boop, because I want my Android to look like an iPhone. Yeah, I don't do that no more. I don't. I remember I used to jailbreak my iPhones back in the day, and I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that no more, man, because you don't know what you're downloading now. That could have been my phone could have been part of a distributed denial of service attack. I download the program to jailbreak it. Guess what? Now I'm a zombie. My phone is a zombie phone at that point. Anyway, four is monitoring and response. Establish continuous monitoring systems to detect unusual activities and have a rapid response plan in place for potential infections. So again, to me, well, not incident response, but like I said, in this case, EDRs. having an EDR on your on all your devices, your mobile devices. That's all I can say on that. Um, and then number five is data protection, enhanced data protection policies to minimize the impact of data theft from mobile devices. You know, one thing and this is when I was going for my master's, and I'm still trying to continue with my master's degree. It was I just took a break from it, but it was a ethics course I was taking, and it was at one point we were talking about bringing your own devices to work, which I've done that before for my last job. We had our own cell phones and we downloaded the necessary applications on our cell phones in order to do our job. But when we were doing more research on it and using I think the NIST 80, I can't remember off the top of my head, but we was using one of the NIST publications to explain about ethics and bringing your own devices, mobile devices, right? And it was explaining like, okay, where's the line when it comes to, okay, how far can I monitor your device, your mobile device? How far, I mean, do I need to have access to your like photos? Do I need to not have access to your photos? Do I need to manage what applications, because applications you're downloaded, because maybe that application can affect the application that's used for proprietary use for the job? We don't know. So it gets that line or that area gets kind of gray because you don't know how far you would need to take it to actually protect mobile devices, especially bring now if it was a device that the company bought, of course, don't download this, don't download that. But when you bring your own devices, that's when you need to start being like, okay, well, they use their devices for other things. I mean, is there a way to shut down that? Like, we don't want them to go and use our application out the like out of the scope of what they do as a out of the scope of their position, their work position, right, or their job description or whatever, right? So yeah, that was kind of an interesting topic writing about that, and I was like, oh, I never thought about that, because I download so many stuff on my cell phone, but you never know that a certain application you download may affect that. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe somebody did some reconnaissance, or some OSINT, open source intelligence, found out that I work for the company and they have a grudge towards the company or they don't like the company, and they do more research and found out that they use this type of application that is created by whatever programming language or whatever, and they may develop something that, okay, well, they download it, they try to do social engineering, get you to download the application on your phone, and then that application downloaded is able to talk to the other application that's proprietary to that company. Hey, but I was thinking of some random stuff, dude, I'm telling you. So, lastly, the business impact. So, understanding and mitigating the threat posed by the Raphael rat can help prevent data breaches, financial losses, and reputation damage. Proactive measures can safeguard the organization assets and ensure business continuity. So, that's how I would explain it to stakeholders and people of non technical background, just to let them know, like, hey, this right here is, especially like I said, if you got a BYOD policy, like literally, you need to look into this, especially using Android. You know what I'm saying? By that point, I about use flip phones at that point. But I mean, you can't use flip phones because everybody using applications these days. But I digress. Woo. Okay, lastly, now I'm boring myself. Lastly, we have, now this is one that I found interesting. Oh yeah, so thousands of car dealerships so stalled out after software provider cyber attack. CDK Global, which makes software for car dealers, experienced a cyber incident that halted vehicle sales and service across the US. So the reason I picked this article, it was like a personal interest for me, because right now I'm designing a website for a startup that's dealing in this space. Um and it caught my eye when I read about it. I was like, yo, like, it got me because I'm already paranoid. I'm already paranoid when it comes to being like, I don't know, like people say, oh, I've read, articles. I read from people like blog posts, Reddit feeds, threads, whatever, however you call it. And people like, you get paranoid. And I'm like, man, you don't get no paranoid being cybersecurity, whatever. And but the more you know about what's really going on and how these people are getting information, yeah, you become paranoid. And so like when I saw this article, I'm like, well, dang, yeah, I'm designing this software and I'm making like the MVP, but now I got to really think about the security aspect of this. You know, web application security about this? Do I have to either put it through a CI/CD pipeline and let it go through DAST and SAS testing, and got to go through, you know, all these different types of tests, making sure that all, you know, this the code that I'm running on top. Okay, you have to worry about if the code that you're running runs efficient and fast, right? On top of, you have to make sure the packages that you're using within that software that you're building is the latest software. It's been times I've been trying to, like, I design something, not design, but while I'm building a, you know, just building a little small project, and I'm like, you know what? I like Python, so I'll search something up. I'm like, oh, Python package for generating QR codes, and I look it up, and I'm like, there's different packages. Then I look at the package, and I'm like, or I look at the GitHub repository, and I look at the dates. I'd be like, this man hasn't updated this thing since 2015. It's 2024. He ain't update nothing. So I know there's flaws. I know there's vulnerabilities in this code, because Python from back then to Python now, totally different. Totally different, bro. Not totally different, depending if you're using Python 2 to Python 3. But when you go back like that far to now, it's like you have like a 9-year gap. Python has like updated itself, or updated since then. You know what I'm saying? So some of that code will break. Some of those packages that he used back then to create that, or code that he created, that may not be more efficient now, or it may not be in use right now, or the package that he used, it's like a inception, like the package within that package may be out of date, and then you have, yeah, it's just, yeah. I was like, man, I'm freaking out. I'm like, bro, I'm about to do this, then go back and put it in a pipeline, make sure all this is the, make sure that all the packages are up to date, make sure the front end is good, make sure the back end is good, the source code is good, SAS and DAS and SCA, all that stuff. I'm like, God Lord. Anyway, I ain't gonna read through this. Like I said, I read the title itself right here. So, like, detailed summary of the article. So the article discusses a significant cyber incident affecting a software provider that serves thousands of car dealerships. The attack resulted in widespread operation disruption, leaving many dealerships unable to process transactions or access essential systems. The attack highlights vulnerabilities in third-party software providers and the cascading impact incident such incidents can have on dependent businesses. So things to know. So incident overview: thousands of car dealerships were impacted by a cyber attack on a key software provider. The disruption halted operations, affecting sales and services processes. Attack vectors. So they really, in this article, they didn't really the specific was not detailed. But the incident underscores the importance of securing third-party software. Potential vulnerabilities in software supply chains need addressing. Impact on the business operations: dealerships experience significant downtime, financial losses included missed sales and service opportunities. Response and mitigation: rapid incident response is critical. Importance of having robust backup systems and contingency plans. So maybe if you're going to have to go back to paper, man, go back to paper. As long as you have a backup on site that has everything listed that's off site, not off site, I would say a backup on site, depending on the software you're using. If it's a SaaS, right, I would still have a backup locally to the dealership just in case. So having reports locally backed up, and also off the network as well. So might have to find out. I don't know, how would you do it? Oh, how would you do it? I mean, you probably have to have it on the network, but only locally to the actual dealership, and just have backup sent to that device. Don't have it accessible through the internet. Have it like download the report, and then have the report be sent straight to your own site server, small little server, whatever. I'm assuming, depending on how big the car dealership is. But being able to go back to paper, I would have the hard copies of like the process that you used to do in paper. I would have that as a backup, so you can keep on doing your sales thing, right? I I wouldn't completely get rid of the actual um it's a lack of a, I'm looking for the word and I can't think of the word right now. But basically, just go back to, square one, or level one. Go back to level one when you was using papers, right? You probably on 10,000. I'm sorry, but you got to go back to level one because this happened. And then lessons learned: third-party risk management is crucial. Regular security assessments and updates for software providers are necessary. And then effective communication plans during cyber incidences are essential. So have a backup third party. On in this case, it sounds it's CDK Global that is they didn't update and they didn't have a response plan for this. So now, to be honest, like I told you, if I don't trust you, this happens. I don't trust you after that. I'm like, well, dang, bro, like you didn't. What did you do to make sure like you handling so many people, car dealerships information, and they using your software? That should be one of the biggest things you should be like on. Cybersecurity, man. Secure my data. Because I'm trusting you with my information. Now I got to start from square one. Or I done lost all my information now. So, explanation to stakeholders. So, the recent cyber incident affecting our software provider has highlighted critical areas of vulnerability in our operations. Understanding the details of this incident and its implications can help us strengthen our cybersecurity posture and make more informed business decisions. So, impact and risks. So, the attack resulted in significant operational disruption across numerous car dealerships. Okay. Financial losses were occurred due to halted sales and services. This incident underscores the risks associated with third-party software providers. So you always got to have your eye on third-party software that you're using, right? Um, of course, we understand that everybody can't do in-house. They can't make their own software in-house, you know. Don't have the time, nor the money, nor the resources to do that, right? So they have to go out to a third-party provider. You putting your trust all in that third party provider. But at the end of the day, I think you got to have either a second backup third party provider, which now you have to trust them, or you have everything backed up on site. And keep your the if you was doing paper, keep that process not ongoing, but keep that accessible. And just keep it on the back burner so nothing else like something like this happens, you know you can okay, we can pick up. We got the backup, look at the latest one. Okay, cool. We can just start doing everything on paper. That's how I do it. So, key takeaways, third-party risk management. We must ensure our software providers adhere to stringent security protocols, regular audits, and security assessments of third-party vendors are necessary. So, so ensure that software providers adhere to stringent security protocols and in regular audits and security assessments of third-party vendors are necessary. So yeah, so like do assessments, making sure do research, making sure that stuff is getting they doing what they supposed to do security wise. Because again, I'm trusting you with my data. I'm gonna make sure that you securing my stuff, and I don't have I don't care. I have to sit there and talk to anybody and everybody about it. Oh, what's up, T T T T T T. Sorry if I'm chopping up your your YouTube handle, man. I'm sorry, but hey, man, what's up, bro? So yeah, regular audits, ensure software adhere to these stringent. Which I like I said, it's like, bro, why do I have to make sure that you have to be on top of your security protocols? I got to run a business. Why do I have to? Anyway, I ain't get more than that. That just sound I don't know. That just sounds whatever to me. Business continuity planning. So developing and maintaining robust contingency plans is crucial to minimize downtime. Ensuring we have effective backup systems can mitigate the impact of such incidents. Like I said, if I feel like if you just transitioning over to using a third party software, I think you should continue using the paper route along with the third party software just in case something like this happens. Also, again, backing it up within your internal network and keeping that server off, don't have that server internet facing, and have backups to that so you can pick up where you left off. They probably have to do a daily backup every time you do a sale or weekly, depending. Um, and if, like I said, you just gotta have a contingency plan, like where you're gonna have, how often you're gonna back up the data, sales data for, for your potential clients or your clients, right, or your customers and everything. Where you're gonna have it stored, how often you're gonna back it up. Um, what other backup plans you have, So yeah, that's why I like just sit down and just make a plan of how business is gonna continue if this happens. That's all what business continuity planning is. A plan to make sure business continues. And incident response preparedness. Remember again, I'm trying to be incident responder. You have the methodology. You have pick, Earl, prep, ID, contain, eradicate, recover, learn lessons or lessons learned. So our incident response team needs to be well prepared to handle such disruption. So the way, like I said, I'm structuring it as if you're talking to a stakeholder, right? So you want to make sure the IR team needs to be well prepared to handle such disruptions. Effective communication channels should be established to keep all stakeholders informed during incidents. Not only stakeholders, I will also say people internally, like your IT team, people that if you're dealing with data engineering, anybody that deals like cloud engineers, anybody within the technology realm, right? I think should always have consistent communication. They should always talk to each other, always, man, just to let each other know, hey, IT team, I'm doing a backup of so and so whatever server. I got it set up for Saturday, whatever, whatever, or I'm doing an update to this software. Hey, can you? And then IT team talks to the cybersecurity team, right, and let them know, hey, I'm doing a update on this application, but we have to make sure that this application, this update, is not affecting nobody. They would say, okay, well, we'll download on our end the cybersecurity team and have somebody test it out or whatever and see what vulnerability, or we'll look up the vulnerabilities of that system, right? Y'all go ahead of that application. Y'all go ahead and spin up a sandbox, right? Or it's a sandbox or a play around network, right? And you download that application to that sandbox and see what happens. If it alters anything on the system, whatever it's gonna do, we'll do the research on like, hey, maybe this application has a vulnerability of this. Then that's when risk comes in. Remember that the risk matrix, right? Is how much risk you will take compared to, like, are you willing to take as much risk here? Not we have the risk matrix, right? And then on top of the risk matrix, you got we got oh, come on people, what it is? It's like the four different things you got: accepting the risk, mitigating the risk, avoidance, and delegating to somebody else. So if you're gonna accept it, like, is it acceptable? Can we mitigate it? Can we avoid it? Or can we have to give it to somebody else, right? So we need the application, right? But say it's a vulnerability that comes up and we think the CVSS score is like pretty low. Are we willing to take that risk to actually use this application? I mean, it's proprietary to what we do, and it's a big deal having it in our actual infrastructure. So I think we can take the risk. We can't avoid it because we need. I mean, we can avoid it and try to mitigate as much as we can. You know what I'm saying? But we have to accept that it's like, okay, maybe a 20%, 10% risk. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any sense. I'm trying to, like, use what I've learned from school and implement. But anyway, in conclusion, by addressing these areas, we can enhance our resilience against cyber threats. Investing in stronger cybersecurity measures and fostering a culture of vigilance will not only protect our operations, but also reinforce trust with our customers and partners. So, recommendations for action: initiate a thorough review of all third-party software providers, invest in advanced cybersecurity training for our staff, and finally, implement more rigorous security protocols and continuous monitoring systems. So yeah, so and that's, the reason I picked this is because I'm actually working on a software for a car dealership. And when I saw this, I'm like, oh my God. So now I got to worry about this. Once I get the software built, or the MVP built, sorry, get the MVP built, then I got to go back and be like, okay, well, let's put some, got to secure it at the same time, have to put more features onto it. Like, it's just, yeah, you can't, it's not a one man show. It's not a one man show. I'm telling you, it's not a one man show. It's not. Sorry, I'm playing. I'm joking. But anyway, well, I'm hoping to get a little bit of help. But that will be it for today's CyberSafe. If you like the name, let me know. I know I think my last video I did threat intel, whatever. Um, but I don't know, I like CyberSafe Insight. Get some more like, CyberSafe, make you safe in the cyber world. Have some insight into that, you know, and yeah, man, I really enjoyed doing this. It was fun. Um, I'm gonna try to do this. I'm trying to be consistent with this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I maybe like put articles from Tuesday and Wednesday and do so on and so forth. So yeah, so yeah, I'm thinking, like I said, I'm still doing it. It's my second episode and everything, and it was pretty good. I think. Let me know in the comments below. Let me know in the stream if you're watching. Let me know if it was good or whatever. Let me know if it was something I can need to improve on. Let me know. But until next time, I see you next time in the CyberSafe news briefing.